Welcome to my YouTube channel, Keith Young Knives. In this video I'll go over how I do my heat treating of my S90-V steel. I hope you enjoy it. As you can see, this is the stuff I use right here. I bought this from True Grit, stainless steel tool wrap. Works very well. I have some of my dimensions written on here so I know exactly what to cut it, so there's no guessing next time or no waste. So what I'm going to do here is I'll measure this out for the two knives that we're going to do, and I'll be back. Welcome back. I got stuff cut. Now we'll start wrapping it up and getting ready for heat treat. I'll zoom out. Hopefully you guys will be able to see what I'm doing alright. Got the two pieces of foil cut, and that's my skinning knife that we're going to do. It's been surface ground, 0.08. Here's the fillet knife that I'm going to do. It's been engraved. It's not completed yet. You probably can't see the edge there, but it's about 0.03 to 0.04. After heat treat, I'll take it down to 0.02, maybe a little less than that for the fillet knife, and then I'll put the bevel on it. Still got to clean this up a little bit more because the bolster is going to come right around, about right in there with a U shape back to here, and then I'm putting some red flamed Kiln for the handle material. I'll show you guys that at the end. But I'll show you how I do this knife, and then I'll do this one off camera, and then I'll show you the heat treat. The things that I use a roller. This will roll out my bends. Baby powder, medicated is the only thing they had. It seemed to work, so I'm still using it. I use it the first time I did a knife. It ended up sticking to the foil, and I bent it trying to peel the foil off. So I use baby powder. Seems to work okay. Let's get started. Place the knife in the center just to get an idea. Fold it over. This stuff is very sharp. You will cut yourself. They recommend wearing gloves every place that I've looked. However, I can't seem to do it with the gloves on. It seems to be awkward. Probably after I cut myself, I'll wish I had gloves. So I fold it down there a little bit. Flip it up. And I just put a little powder in there. Probably too much, but it'll get moved around. Set my blade in there. Try to get it centered. You gotta check one thing I forgot to check. The other thing you want to make sure before you heat treat is that all your holes will fit for what you're going to use them for. So I'll be right back. There, in the back. Holes fit good enough. So that back in there. Little on top. Probably a little too much. Alright, start on the edges. Of course I do. Fold it down a little more. I was folding 3 or 4 times, however, I think I'm not sure yet. I may do this 3 times and see what happens. I had a little warpage on the last one when I put it between the aluminum plates to run the air to it to cool it faster. And I'm not sure if it was because of the foil was too thick, and it wasn't allowing the plate to sit flat and squish it. It was sitting up on the edges right here. So I'm not sure. And I take this, I just roll it on it. And squish it right out. I'll do this 2 or 3 times on this edge. Get a little high on that one. There. I'll go one more. Try to get as much air out of it as you can. It seems to work a lot better. There's the end of that one there. I'm just going to scoot it off the table for a minute so I can get my fingers on it. And I'll take the pliers and just give this a little bend. It's not so bad now when there's just one bend, but when you get three of them, it tends to be a little stiff to do. That one was a little thin, but then I take the pliers and squish it. Like that. One fold. And there's two. I'm going to try just two, I think. I think the more that you fold it, the less air that can get in there, and the less carbon buildup. I think it's carbon anyway, that you can get built up in there. The easier it is to get it all cleaned up when you're done. But I do have the surface grinder now, so that'll maybe save me a little time. Unless, of course, I ruin the knife on the surface grinder, which has been done. Come on. Get over there. This one's being a little stubborn. Definitely don't want to put a hole in it. It defeats the purpose. I've read someplace that people will put cigarette butts and a piece of paper and some other stuff up. I didn't seem to have any trouble this way. Right here seems to work good for me. It takes about, I'd say by the time I get all done with it and stuff, it takes a good 6 hours by the time it ramps up and does its 30-minute soak time. But so what I do is I put it in my kiln. I ramp it up to 450 degrees and let it soak for 10 minutes. And then it continues on full power up to 2050 degrees. And then that soaks for 30 minutes. And after it soaks, I take it out, set it on the stones, or set it on the aluminum, and air quench it. I could add a little bit of air in there through it. Hopefully it'll be alright. Then I air quench it. And then I let it sit to room temperature. As my kiln was dropping back down to 400 degrees, I put it in at 400 degrees for 2 hours, 2 times. That gives me a Rockwell right around 60, 61, 62 sometimes. I've been hanging right around 62 right now. I'm not sure if that's too much for this steel or not. It seems to work okay. I may try to shoot for 59 on some of them. But that's it right there. Just like that. Then I'll put it in my kiln. I usually do blade up. That. This one right here doesn't actually have the blade part done yet. I'm actually trying to, I'm going to heat treat it, and then I'm actually going to mill it out with a ball mill. So that's it for that. I will stop the video for now, and then I'll do the other one, the flame knife, and then when I get ready to heat treat, I'll turn the camera back on. Alright, I got the other knife all foiled up and ready to go. Hopefully you guys can see them in there. They're stuck in there fairly even. Well, so here we go. So program 1, that's what I want. Program. Cancel, get out of that. Okay. Program 1, enter. So it's full. Up to 1450. For 10 minutes it's going to soak. Then it's going to continue to ramp up full to 2050. And it's going to soak for 30 minutes. And that's it. And here we go. So we'll be back after this is done, and I'll show you guys how I put it between the two aluminum plates and give it an air quench. Alright, there's 3 minutes left in the cycle, so I'm going to open up the door and pull the one out and try to do it as fast as I can. That baby's hot. See how it warped a little bit. Two minutes left to finish out the cycle. It may have a little warp to it, I hope not. Well, there's a minute left in the other. You can I think it might be okay. Maybe a little bit of a warp. That heat treat stuff feels so weird. I like the color that it leaves. I leave that right on there. I think it gives it character. Alright, still, yeah, you can move it around. It's still pretty hot though. Actually, on this one I won't leave it on there because I'll be milling it. I won't leave that on there, I'll be milling it out. But the other ones that I pre-milled at first, I left that on there for the color. I liked it. So we'll see. Maybe I'll do something different with it. But, alright, complete. Time for the other one. Let's see how this one's going to go. 14-inch blade, it's going to be close if it's all going to fit on there. So here we go. Hopefully I can get everything where I need it. Woo-hoo. That is hot. Look at that thing, banana boat, man. Uh-oh, this ain't gonna be good at all. Try kitty corner, I guess. Well, hopefully it's straight. maybe now I'll just put some weight on it for a while, see how it goes. I don't want to get this too close because I can feel the heat, it'll melt the lens right off this thing. It's down to 1,320 degrees, 11. That's still pretty hot in there. Takes a long time for that to cool down. So I should get another oven. Alright, I'll be back and let you know how it turns out. Well, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It straightened out pretty well. I think there's just a slight maybe a slight bend to it, not much. I mean, we're getting about the same resistance on both sides. It's a little easier, so maybe bow it up this way just a little bit. The engraving, I'm gonna have to do something different, I think, maybe about that, but it's not too bad. All right, what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna right now it's pretty brittle. If you could drop it, and it probably would break. I still have to temper it 2 times at 400 degrees, maybe 450 this time. 400 or 450 degrees for 2 hours, and then you have to do it twice. You gotta let it cool to room temperature and do it again. We're gonna check, see what the Rockwell is right now, and then we'll check it again after a little bit. This here is Ames Rockwell hardness tester that I have. It works very well. I like it. It works good. So we're gonna give this a test. So what you have to do for this is you have to get that dial right on the set. So I'm going to turn it to get it on set. Right there. And you got to move this so it hits the glass. Then you go all the way over here to 150. Then you back it off to back to set again, and wherever it'll read in here when you get to set. I better look at it to see. Right there, set, and it's reading. It's reading 65 Rockwell right now. It'll drop a little bit after the temper. We'll check the skin of the knife. Same thing. Put it to set. Put it to 150. And then back her off again to set. Right there. That one's reading 65, maybe 66, just about 65, it's about the same. So after we temper these later tonight, I'll turn the camera back on. We will see what we get. I'm going to say right around 61, maybe 62. Yep. Put that back. I have to let the kiln cool down. It takes probably an hour and a half to cool down to so I can get it so it doesn't go over 400 degrees. It actually has to read right around 100 with the door open. By the time I shut the door, it builds back up to 350 pretty quick. So stay tuned. First temper is just about done. 1 minute to go. I have the vice grips on the plate because that's where I usually set it up, right, to let it cool. I probably could set it flat on the aluminum, but I'm not sure. I just do it this way. Then
let them cool to room temperature, and do it all over again for another 2 hours. This time I ended up doing the temper at 450 degrees for 2 hours to see if maybe I get down to about a 60 or 61 Rockwell. We'll see in another few hours. Alright, let them cool and back at it again. Well, it's done with its second heat treat. Same thing with the second heat treat. It was 450 degrees for 2 hours. So we will check the Rockwell. See what we have. And again, bring it up to 150. And then bring it back to set. And right there it's reading 61. You guys won't be able to see that in that glass, I don't think. Something like that right there, 61. So a fillet knife is 61. See what the skin of knife is. Fillet knife's reading 62. 61 and a half. Alright. Not too bad. Turned out pretty well. So later when I get my hard end mill, ball mill, we'll put this in the fixture and we'll do the hollow ground. Yep. Clean it up a little bit. Maybe throw it on the surface grinder one more time just to skim it. Alright, that's heat treat.